Welcome. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. Today, I wanted to share with you just a very simple, basic flow. And for those of you who are new to yoga, this is a great place to start. For those of you who are deep in your yoga practice, go deep in something simple. I challenge you. All right, let's get started. Sit up tall, take your shoulders back, and then soften your eyes closed. Bring your hands together in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. And we just start the practice by connecting to the inner space, connecting to the heart center. Bow your head to your heart center. Release your hands, lift your head, open your eyes, and let's get started. Come to standing at the front of your mat. Let's stand with feet hip distance apart and parallel. It just means toes pointing forward, heels pointing back. Ground through your legs, open through your heart. On the next inhale, take your arms overhead, shoulder width apart, and just stretch. And you're using the power of your legs and the grounding of your feet to give you a little bit more open space through your upper chest, arms, and even your hands. Take a full breath here. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow forward, and touch the ground. As you bow forward, you can take a small bend in your knees or as much as you need to get your fingertips to the floor. Then start to make your legs strong and straight as you fold in. On the next inhale, lift and open your chest. You can bring your hands onto your legs to get a little bit more front body space, and then fold in. Take your hands to your hips, take your shoulders back, rise to stand. These are just half sun salutations. On your next inhale, take the arms overhead, full stretch. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow forward, and touch the ground. Uttanasana, forward fold. On the next inhale, lift and open the chest, half stretch forward, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips with an open chest, rise. Release your hands to Tadasana, float the arms overhead, Utthita Hastasana. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow forward, and touch the ground. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and step to plank pose. As soon as you step back, take your hands a little bit wider than shoulders, feet hip distance apart, fingers and toes pointing forward with your strong arms, strong legs, open through your heart. Now we're going to lower all the way down to the ground, but with control, okay? Point the toes straight back, lift the chest up and forward, Cobra Pose. As you come into Cobra Pose, your hands are grounding super strong. You're using that power to take the shoulders back and actually pull the heart forward. Reset your feet, push your hips back, downward facing dog. Now in your down dog, the very first one, you can take a little bend in your knees, lift the sitting bones a little bit higher. This is going to get you into your spine. You're going to feel it. Then start to stretch the legs back towards straight. Step forward to meet your hands, feet hip distance apart. You can take as many steps as you need. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips with an open chest, rise. Release your hands, float the arms, take them up. This time we're going to lean back just a little bit. Press through your legs and stretch into the space behind you and above you. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow forward and fold. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and step to plank pose. As soon as you step back, place the hands, place the feet, open the heart, and lower slowly to the floor. Keep the shoulders back, point the toes, open the heart, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Good. Reset the feet, push the hips back, downward facing dog. Good. Step forward, lift and open your chest on the same breath, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips, take your shoulders back with an open chest, rise. Float the arms overhead, take the arms back, lean back and stretch. Come back to center and touch the ground, Uttanasana. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, step to plank pose. Steady and strong in your arms, steady and strong in your legs, but get open and sweet through your heart. Lower all the way down to the floor. Keep the shoulders back, point the toes, pull the chest up and forward. Okay. Reset your feet, push your hips back, downward facing dog. So we're just going to pause here just a moment just to feel the body, feel the effects of those first few sun salutations. Good. We're going to move into Crescent Pose. Step the right foot forward. Come onto your fingertips. Check the distance of your feet. We want them hip distance apart. That means ankles in line with the hip joint. Open through your heart. And then rise and bring your hands to your hips. Here, just get settled into your front leg. As you go deeper into that front leg, you want to keep that back leg working strong and straight. Now float the arms overhead, full crescent pose. And in this one, we're not going to lean back. We're just using the power of our legs to just reach up. You want to imagine that that back leg is moving away from the arms. And the arms are moving away from the leg. We're going to do a variation here. Bring your hands to prayer pose. We're going to take a twist with control. Now you want to use the power of your legs to keep the heart supported and open. Okay, just for a couple of breaths here. Look to the floor and place your hands plank pose. Open through the heart, super sweet and steady. Downward facing dog. Feel the need to lower through chaturanga and a cobra, it's called a vinyasa. No problem, go for it. Step the left foot forward. Come onto fingertips, open through the heart. Rise, bring your hands to your hips, and then just steady yourself. Usually I have my hands and I have the little monitor on my side here for my headphone, so I can't put my hand fully on my hip. Take the arms overhead, reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. And again, as you settle into that front leg, get strong and committed through that back leg as you reach up. Full breath. Bring your hands to prayer pose. And we're going to take a twist. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Then again, use the power of your legs to go up through your heart. Get some space in there. Couple more breaths. Good. Step to plank pose. At any time you need to take a break, just pause the video, no problem, and then join us when you're ready. Downward facing dog. And we're going to go into a variation of Parsvakonasana. Step the right foot forward, turn the back heel down and flat. Come onto fingertips so you have a sense of space to check things out. Bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. Take your left hand to your hip. Open your chest. Stretch your left arm forward overhead, palm face down. And you're again using the power of the legs to allow the spine to open, allow the heart to expand. Now the key here is the front leg. The front leg is not going to move. I know it's going to start to burn in a few seconds. Keep it steady, and you're going to lift your upper body into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Arms in line with the shoulders, front knee points forward, and then soften the shoulders down, keeping the arms light and lifted. That's the challenge. Sweet breath. Nice. And step to plank pose. Strong and steady in your arms. Strong and steady in your legs. Open through your heart. Downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Turn the back heel down and flat. Come onto your fingertips and stretch forward to your heart. Get the space first. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Take your right hand to your hip. Open your chest towards the side. Take the top arm overhead, palm face down. Get a full stretch to the right side of your body. On the left side, try not to collapse in the shoulder. Use that arm to move the heart up into a more expanded space. Using the power of your legs to support you, rise with control to Warrior 2. Now this is where the front leg really starts to burn, I know. And that fire, it's a good thing. Steady yourself in that fire. That's the intensity. That's the chaos. Stay calm in the chaos. I need to write that down for myself. Sometimes I catch myself saying things to you that I know I need to hear and practice. Good. Step to plank pose. Yeah. Steady and strong in the arms, steady and strong in the legs, open through the heart. And downward facing dog. Okay, come to your hands and your knees. We're just going to take a moment to pause and reflect. This is the moment you just bring your body back to center. You still the breath or calm the breath, which stills the mind. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, release through your mouth. Open your eyes. Downward facing dog. Okay, I'm going to come into Pigeon Prep. Bring your right shin forward across the front of your mat, parallel. As best as you can. Keep the back toes tucked under for now. And then try not to collapse to the side. Use your fingertips to take the weight off the hips, and this allows you to square. This means get your pelvis in the center between the base of your legs, left and right side. Use your fingertips to open through your heart. And then just sweeten the breath. Good. Okay, now we're going to do a little variation. Right hand stays on fingertips. If you have trouble, you can place the hand flat, no problem. I'm going to keep mine lifted. Bring the left forearm down. And this is turning your upper body into a twist, and it's also getting the left hip moving to the floor a little bit more. Now, using the power of your legs and your arms, see if you can move that right hip back. And you're going to feel this in the glute muscle. And using your power in your arms, open through the chest. Take a beautiful, sweet breath. Great job. Downward facing dog. I did a great job. I'm assuming you did too. All right. Bring the left shin forward. Place the right knee down. Just quickly check that back leg. Make sure it's going straight back. Come onto your fingertips. Level the hips. Open the heart. And just steady yourself. If you're struggling with this, you can bring the front foot a little closer in. It means just move it closer to your hips or underneath you even. Using your hands open through the heart. Sweeten the breath. The breath is your guide. If your breath is moving really fast, see if first you can calm it just by being aware of it. Secondly, you might be struggling or overstraining in a position. Back off a little bit, no problem. Bring the right forearm down. Use your arms to move the heart up and open. And that right hip, it's going to work strong towards the floor. You're going to feel it on the left side. You may feel it in the front of your right hip. That's good too. With just a little bit of awareness and control, move that left hip back. Yeah, you're going to feel it strong. You might feel it in your ass. That's a good place. Okay, my mind just went someplace else. Come back. Come back. Good. Downward facing dog. Push it all the way back. And we're going to do a variation of side plank. Come forward to plank pose. Turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Take your right hand to your hip. Bend your right knee and just place it on the floor in front of your left leg. Now you're going to use your left arm and left leg to lift the hips up. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Just giving yourself a full stretch here. Good. Reset the hand. Push back. Downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Come forward to plank pose. Turn to the outer edge of the right foot. Bend the left knee. Step it and lift the left arm. And use whatever's touching the ground to lift whatever's above the ground. General rule. Plants do it all the time. Good. Downward facing dog. Come to your hands, your knees. Shake out your hands for just a moment. Okay. And then let's take this up a notch, okay? If that was intense for you, just stay there. It's no problem. We're going to just take one stage further. Okay, challenge your balance, but it's also going to challenge your strength. Downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Turn to the outer edge of the left foot. Right hand to the hip, bend the right knee, step the foot forward. Take the right arm up. Stage one of this next stage is to lift the heel up. The next stage is to see if you can balance the foot off the floor. Strong. Open the heart, steady for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and with control, downward facing dog. Yes. Awesome. At least mine was awesome. I'm pretty fucking humble. I think you guys all know that. Come forward to plank pose. Humility is not one of my strengths. Turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Take your left hand to your hip. Step the foot forward. Take the left arm up. Using the power of the right side, open the left side. Lift the left heel up. See if you can balance that heel off the ground, the foot off the ground. Using your power, lift it a little bit higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, downward facing dog. Oh, that was strong. All right, come to your hands and your knees. Shake out your arms. Again, just deepen your breath. And even something like that, like, I could do many variations, but I'm taking something simple, I'm just slowing it down, putting more attention, more awareness. That's what makes it advanced. All right, tuck your thumbs in, curl your fingers, and just move your wrists in circles. All right, nice and sweet, downward facing dog. I'm going to do a thigh stretch. Step your right foot forward. Place your left knee on the ground. Left hand flat on the floor, slightly in front of your shoulders. Take your hand to your hip, open your chest. Good. You're going to lift the back foot towards your butt and hold the foot from the inside. If you get a hamstring cramp, it just means that you're moving your foot too slow. So the hamstring is spasming. If that happens, put it back on the ground, engage it, wait for a few moments, it'll release. Take the right shoulder back, open the chest. Okay. And keeping the heart open, you're going to use the backhand to bring the foot closer to the butt. Keep the butt and heel connection, whatever that distance is, and move the hips just a touch towards the floor. Good enough. Release the foot, push back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, place the right knee down, place the right hand flat. Take the left hand to the hip, knee, and open the chest towards the side. Good. If you're already feeling it in front of your right thigh, totally, you can stay here. It's not a big deal. Just go for the thigh stretch. You can use a towel or a strap or a partner or a prayer, whatever you need. Open the heart. And then again, keeping the heart open, use the back foot, bring the foot a little bit closer, and then you're going to lower that right hip towards the floor, just a little bit. Deepen the breath. And release. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs. I'm just going to spin it over. My head is at the top of my mat. We're going to set them on the Sarvangasana bridge pose, but we're just going to do a little simple variation. Arms at the side, elbows bent, fingers towards the ceiling. And the key here, feet hip distance apart, and the shoulders pressing back. See how that opens my chest? Press to your shoulders, press to your heels, lift your hips up. We're just gonna rock it here for a few breaths. And you just use the power of the arms, power of the legs. Legs are lifting the pelvis, arms are opening the heart. If you have something at the back of your head, like a ponytail or whatever, just take it out so the head stays flat. And release. Okay, let's do it one more time. Hips up, shoulders back. Once you're up, open that heart. And you just always reaffirm the opening of your heart. Steady, strong. And lower down. Last one. Hips up. Cool. Stage 1 is here. Stage 2, lift your right leg vertical, straight up. Keep it lifted. Use the arms. Reach for it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and switch. Don't go down. Use your legs. Stretch. Top leg, you can see it. Make sure it's straight. Make sure it's reaching for it. Full blast. Reach for it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Feels good. Okay. I'm going to stay on the back. Stretch your left leg straight, and you're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest. And just give the knee a little hug. As you draw it in, you're getting more length out of the left leg. Toes, as best as you can, point towards the ceiling so you keep awareness. Bring that knee in towards the chest. You're going to feel your nervous system ground really quickly like this. For just a couple of more breaths, open the right knee to the right. keeping it hugging in. And see how much length you could get out of that whole left side, starting from inside your belly. That's where some of the bigger muscle groups connect. In the front of your spine, connect to your leg. Get that hip open. Come back to center. Release the leg. Take a moment, pause, feel. Okay, let's do the other side. Bring the left knee in. Give me the right leg active, connected, and aware. Stretch out through that right leg as you bring the left knee in. You can hear my breath. My breath is actually guiding the conversation. Starting to slow my breath down so my body starts to ground as we move towards the back end of this practice. Good. Release the leg, pause and feel. Bring both knees in. Turn to your right. I'm going to turn to my left so I can face you. Come to a seated position. Sit up tall, take your shoulders back. If your knees are higher than your hips, if they're rising up, then just sit on something, okay? Stage one of a seated pose is just resting your shins on your feet. It's called Sukhasana. Siddhasana is ankle in front of the pubic bone. This is called open Siddhasana. We just do a little breath awareness and a very short, sweet meditation. Sit up tall, shoulders back, open the heart, level the head, and close your eyes. I'm going to start with what's called a cleansing breath, just releasing pressure. Take an inhale in, and exhale through your mouth. And I want you to feel that lightness. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in, and exhale out. Cool. Now just close the lips and let the breath move on its own. And your meditation is just so simple. It's just you sitting in this light space. And when you sit in light space, you have a sense of perspective. You can watch your thoughts. You can watch what's going on in your head. You can be aware of what's going on in the world. But it's from a place of observation, from a place of stillness, lightness. Begin to increase your breath. And as you increase your breath and you bring yourself and your awareness back into your body and the feelings of your body and the space around you, and throughout your day, try to maintain this sense of inner space. So you observe your experiences, you observe the world from a sense of perspective and space. Bring your hands together in front of your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart. Take a moment and just be thankful, be grateful for what you have in your life and just for life itself. We are so, so, so blessed. Namaste. There you go. That's it. Thank you so much for listening, watching. I really appreciate it. Have a fabulous, beautiful day. Have an amazing week. And don't forget, live your truth. Sending you so much love and light. Thank you. Bye-bye.